And we want to begin with that breaking news tonight. Police in Hartford investigating a deadly shooting. Thanks for joining us here. I'm Ben Goldman. Investigators have been out on the 100 block of Amherst Street after gunshots rang out earlier today. Police now identifying the victim a short time ago tonight. Let's get right to Fox 61's Zania Maldonado with more. Zania.
Yeah, Ben, new at this hour, Hartford police are now confirming the identity of the victim who was killed in the shooting here along Amherst Street just before 4 p.m. earlier today. Police confirming tonight that he is indeed 19-year-old Hartford resident Mekhi Buckley. Police tell us someone called 911 after hearing gunshots in this neighborhood. Upon arrival, they found Buckley in the driveway of 152 Amherst Street. Now, police tell us the victim was either running or walking from where he was shot in this area before he collapsed in that driveway. He was taken to Hartford Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Hartford police confirming this was a targeted attack. They did not name any suspects, but say they have multiple people of interest they're talking to at this time.
This was not random. This was definitely targeted. This is normally a very, very quiet street. We do have some people of interest that we're speaking to. Their role in this is yet to be determined. We're getting to that.
And the Hartford Police Major Crimes Unit is still investigating at this hour. They are asking anyone with information regarding this shooting to contact them immediately. We're live in Hartford tonight. Zania Maldonado, Fox 61 News.